Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2025 Chevy Trailblazer LT.
And a big thanks to Gabriel and the rest of the management and staff here at Furman Chevy in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Gabriel.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Trailblazer was originally a rear-wheel drive based midsize SUV sold by Chevy from 1998 to 2008. Brought back as a front-wheel drive subcompact SUV in 2021, facelifted last year for the 2024 model year, and for 2025, just like the Trax, the Trailblazer is now available in Marina Blue, which, if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's a beautiful paint color. Chevy also tweaked the 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder, now allowing it to be E85 compatible. The 2025 Blazer is available in 4 trims, ranging from the $23,000 base LS up to the $27,000 active. Here we have the LT sitting just above the base with a $24,300 base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So the Mosaic black metallic color is a beautiful black metallic. Hopefully you pick up the sparkles in the Florida sun. We get the LED projector headlamps, LED daytime running light up top, a little bit of chrome trim for the LT, yellow bow tie up front, no forward facing camera, no 360 with a sub $25,000 base price. Definitely would not be expected. It's a really well styled vehicle for the money. The wheel and tire setup, we get a black and silver contrast for these 17-inch rims wrapped in Continental Pro Contact TX all-season tires, some of the better all-seasons in the business. Dimensions here are 225/60 R17s. With the 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder, which makes a pretty decent amount of power. We'll see how the 225s put the power to the ground. 5-lug pattern, a little bit of plastic cladding for the wheel well area and rocker panel side skirts. Black body color mirrors. We do get blind spot monitoring on the glass. That's a premium touch. All black trim for the window trim, some aluminum styled roof rails. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. The window sticker, hopefully you guys can pick it up. There you go. From this angle, you should be able to pick something up. The 2025 Trailblazer front wheel drive LT with the Mosaic black metallic exterior, 1.2-liter turbo, $24,300 for the base price. But again, it's going to be just about impossible for you guys to pick anything up. You can take my word for it. We have a $400 driver confidence package giving us the rear cross traffic alert, rear park assist, lane change alert with side blind zone alert, $250 for the all-weather floor liners, $1295 for the destination charge, totaling us out at $26,240. 30 combined MPGs, 30 in the city, 31 on the highway. I'll take a step back. Hopefully you guys can pick up the side profile here on this 2025 Chevy Trailblazer LS. And again, I apologize for the window sticker. With the glare from the sun, really going to be just about impossible to pick it up. You can go online, check out all the features and specs for the trim level. The LT is a relatively base trim, but we still get the blind spot monitoring here and a pretty solid bass sound system. You'll be surprisingly impressed with how well this vehicle is optioned for $25,000, sub $25,000 base price. We get LED taillights with halogen turn signals and a halogen reverse light, chrome Trailblazer badge in the left corner. On the right side, we get our LT, yellow Chevy bow tie. Shout out Furman Chevy in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. We get full rear parking sensing. That's an appreciated touch. That was part of our confidence package. We get our exhaust tip in the lower right corner. And speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, here you have the smaller 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder option for the 2025 Trailblazer. It's also available in a 1.3-liter turbo 3-cylinder, big whoop. The 1.3 cranks out 155 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the Trailblazer to 60 in the mid to high 8-second range. That's not what we have here. Here we have the smaller 1.2-liter turbo 3-cylinder, which cranks out 136 horsepower with 162 pound-feet of torque, give or take 1 or 2. Made it to a CVT transmission. The smaller motor is enough to get the Trailblazer to 60 in the high 8s to low 9-second range. So definitely not the quickest. We can shut the hood right down. No hydraulic struts. I was using my arm as the prop rod. You're not buying this SUV because of its performance. You're buying it because of the sub $25,000 base price, solid amount of space, and really solid amount of features. But don't worry, performance-wise, you'll see towards the end of this video, this is still a very quick and nimble power plant with a lot of usable torque all throughout its rev range. We could take a step inside, see what we get with a sub $25,000 base price. Set the lights back. There we go. Up top, we get hard plastic, but it's a rubberized trim with some metallic flake in the center, aluminum door handle, lock and unlock, soft touch for the center portion, and a rubberized armrest, which it's not the best quality material, but it is soft and padded. It's not the worst area to rest your arm. We got an auto one touch driver window, auto one touch for all four for the way down, but you got to press and hold for the way back up. Four-way adjustable mirrors, you'll stack 2 or 3 foot longs on top of each other with a 24-ounce bottle. And although it's the bass sound system here, this is a really good system for the bass. I think that GM does the best job when it comes to the entry-level sound systems. The seats are also very comfortable for a bass seat, well bolstered, solid materials for cloth. They're not electrically adjustable. They are adjustable. You can still recline, drop, lift, and slide just with latches. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. But first thing we notice, this is a really serious interior for the price point. We have the dual screens, 8-inch digital gauge display, I believe an 11-inch touchscreen. The steering wheel is thick. It's not leather wrapped, but the shape is excellent, and the materials for where you're actually going to be touching, a lot of attention to detail with the perforation all throughout. The steering wheel controls, we get our cruise control on the left side with forward collision alert, and the right side voice commands. You can hang up and answer your phone calls. You can adjust the infotainment system. So speaking of the adjustments, you press and hold for half a second. You can adjust gauge 1, gauge 2, gauge 3. Gauge 2, we can take a look. Changes it up a little bit in like a turbo style. Press and hold one more time. Gauge 3. And it's like a compass. I prefer gauge 1, so we will leave it there. But it is cool they allow you to adjust it. We have a fuel level on the left side, coolant temperature on the right, compass in the top left with the digital speedo in the center, and the tach going to about 6,000 RPM. The stocks have a very satisfying click, auto headlamps and auto high beams. No auto rain sensing wipers wouldn't be expected with a sub $25,000 base price point. Tilt and telescoping steering column, auto headlamps. We mentioned we also get auto high beams, interior brightness, hood latch release, a little bit of extra storage, and hopefully get a good look at the pedals. The dashboard is rubberized but hard plastic. The 11-inch touchscreen, we do not get standard navigation on the LT trim, but we get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Adjust the songs, see your phone information, vehicle settings. My personal favorite would just be this home screen or the music screen if we currently had something playing. We get more metallic flakes surrounding the air vents. The air vents have an aluminum material throughout the center and some faux aluminum underneath. Stitching all throughout the front part of this dashboard. We get the hazards, manual climate control, the adjustments for the temperature on the left side and the vents on the right. And it looks very premium. I personally prefer manual climate over automatic climate control, so I'm definitely not going to knock them for it. We have our 12-volt underneath, USB-C and USB-A port. No wireless phone charging pad, but those things barely work anyway. We get a ton of storage underneath. We get traction control you can disable, lane keep assist as well, the gear selector controlling the CVT transmission. Backup camera, super high resolution, guidance lines and trajectory. And you can turn on or off the guidance lines and trajectory. Throwing it right back into park. We'll return back to the previous screen. Electronic parking brake. The cup holders will fit 24-ounce bottles with mug area for like the mug handle as well. Decent storage. You'll fit like 3 or 4 wallets, bunch of phones in there. We get a padded rubberized armrest. It's not leather, but it's okay when it comes to space. This tier is removable and really spacious inside of there. You'll fit 2 or 3 1-liter bottles of soda with probably 2 or 3 wallets in that top tier. The glove box, it is damped, not lined felt, but pretty deep. I'd expect you to fit 15 to 20 license plates. Should be able to fit 2 pairs of shoes in there. Not frameless or auto dimming rear view mirror. You got to pull this flappy thing to dim it. The interior lights are not LED. We get our voice commands and OnStar settings too. We can adjust the interior lights for the back and for when you open the door as well. That's about it though, guys, for the front seat at least of this 2025 Chevy Trailblazer LT. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So up top, just like up front, hard plastic, same thing for the center, but we still keep that rubberized softer armrest. Auto one touch the way down for the window, aluminum door handle, decent storage. You'll stack 2 6-inch subs on top of each other. The rear seats, the padding goes all the way out to the door frame and decent bolstering even for a back seat. Really decent legroom for a subcompact SUV at a little bit over 6 feet tall. I still have like 3-4 inches of knee room. I was not expecting that. This is just as spacious back here as the mid-size Malibu we just reviewed in this channel. The headroom, of course, is going to be more impressive with this flat SUV style roof. We got about 2 inches of headroom. So if you're under 6'4", 6'5", maybe 6'6", you'll comfortably sit in the back of a Trailblazer with no problem. Unfortunately, no air vents, sub 25K, definitely can't complain. We got grab handles with a hook for both. Well, the hook is not on the passenger side, but the grab handles are on the passenger side, hook on the driver's side. No center cubby. The seats do fall down. It doesn't look like the wheel wells protrude all that badly, but let's check that out when we hop out into the cargo space. We have map pockets behind both of the front seats. Interior lights are not LED. They weren't up front, so wouldn't be expected out rear. That's about it though, guys, for the second row. Let's hop out into the cargo space, see how much space is offered back here, and then take this 2025 Trailblazer out for the drive. So cargo space here, it's a little bit better than the Trax we just reviewed in this channel a couple weeks ago. Both SUVs are in the subcompact segment from Chevy, but the Trailblazer is a little bit larger. It's also a little bit more expensive. Secret storage, let's see what we got. Spare tire and a little bit of secret storage surrounding it. The wheel wells, as you mentioned, don't really protrude, so you can fold the seats down 60-40 split. And I'd still expect you to fit a 70, maybe even a 75-inch TV back here. Let me know in the comment section if you're a Trailblazer owner and how big of a TV you've been able to fit in the back of one. I'll leave a link right here to show you guys exactly how much space is back here with the second row up and with the second row down. But what you see is basically what we get. Very solid amount of space. We get some cutouts in the corners, perfect for grocery bags so they're not just flying around. We can shut this trunk or lift gate right down, walk around this 2025 Chevy Trailblazer LT one more time. And again, for a sub $25,000 base price, this might be the most spacious, the most feature-packed SUV out on the road today. I know it's a turbo 3-cylinder, love it or hate it, it's a sub $25,000 SUV, and let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2025 Chevy Trailblazer LT. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, the steering feels sharp and direct with a decent amount of feel for an electric steering rack. I like the shape of the wheel too. Throttle response, I mean, it's a turbo 3-cylinder, don't expect it to be too impressive, but as soon as that boost kicks in, there is a lot of power for a subcompact SUV here. We can throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. Handling is decent. Oh, water bottles flying all over the place. I'll put this next to me to keep it a little bit more strapped in. Brakes feel good. Try it out about third throttle. Yeah, there is some lag, but it's good power once the boost kicks in. It doesn't feel really any slower than most of its competition. I can't think of anything with around 140 horsepower that's really particularly fast. But once the boost kicks in, there's definitely no lack of power. I've been saying that about the Trax too. I don't love the power plant, but I mean, for a sub $25,000 car, this vehicle is not in any way or shape or form slow. We could try one out off the line right over here, try to give you guys a good idea of it. No brake torque, just off the line, on the gas, boost. Whew, yeah, I mean, it gets up and goes. It doesn't really feel any slower than the Malibu we just reviewed in this channel. Throwing it in quicker than we should. A little bit of body roll, but it's not bad. Yes, compared to the Malibu, it really doesn't feel any slower. It is on paper about a second slower, 0 to 60, but it really doesn't feel like it. I don't mind this 1.2 3-cylinder. It's really not a whole lot worse than the 1.5 4-cylinder that Chevy uses. Composure of the bumps, it's okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. Bump. Yeah. Good damping. One more bump. Go a little bit more at a normal speed here. Yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't call it better than fine. I wouldn't call it worse than fine. It's fine. Brakes feel good. Once this guy turns without a turn signal, we'll take a step out here. Open her up a little bit more on the gas. Yeah. It's really not that bad. Handling, good. Not bad. We can take a step out onto a multiple lane highway, open her up a little bit more, see how she is at some higher speeds, but for the most part, sub $25,000 bucks, this might be one of the best SUVs out on the road today. I wouldn't recommend checking this out without also checking out the tracks though. The tracks really isn't a whole lot smaller. I do kind of prefer the way it drives over this. It's a newer platform, so to be expected that it'll drive a little bit nicer. It is a little bit smaller, but I would still recommend checking out the tracks because for about $1,000, $2,000 less, it's very comparable when it comes to features and space. You can take a step out here, open her up a little bit more, boost, whoo, little wheel spin. Come on, go Trailblazer, go, go, go. Yep, there we go. Not bad. Okay, it's definitely not blowing you away, and now that we opened her up a little bit more, it's definitely not as quick as the Malibu we just reviewed on this channel. The Malibu, it does feel about a second quicker to 60. You don't really notice it until you push this vehicle full throttle though. Keeping up with traffic is effortless. The turbo spools up quickly and it gives you a ton of mid-range torque, and that's why this feels quicker than a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder in the same segment. Not for full throttle, but about half throttle, this feels strong. Full throttle is just, it doesn't really feel much stronger than half throttle, but half throttle, which is what you're going to be using to get onto the highways most of the time, it does feel like a strong power plant. If you're looking for a strong feeling power plant, that's not necessarily a strong power plant, but okay, for 25,000 bucks, you're not expecting a strong power plant. Like, what are you expecting? A V6 with 300 horsepower? You want that? Check out the Blazer. It'll be about 40,000 bucks though. It's not going to be 25. For 25,000 bucks, this thing feels strong. It gives you all the space you really need, and it gives you a lot of features. The materials where they matter are soft. They're not soft everywhere, but where they matter, they're soft. And it's a good looking vehicle. If you're looking for a first car, you want to sit up a little bit higher off the ground, this is just a great vehicle to go for. Even if it's not your first car, if you're just looking to upgrade to an SUV, have a little bit more practicality in your daily driver, but you're not looking to really up the price compared to your previous vehicle, I don't see really a better option to go with. I would still recommend checking out the tracks too. It's about $1,000, $2,000 cheaper for competitive trims, and you're really not compromising a whole lot, but either way, I would recommend checking out a subcompact SUV from the Chevrolet lineup. And a big thanks to Gabriel and the rest of the management and staff here at Furman Chevy in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Gabriel. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.